the field. From the ice to the turf, we'll break it down. Discussing every win and every loss in town. We'll talk about the Canucks and the Lions. We are your irrational fans. We are your irrational fans.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live for episode 105 of the Hughes Sports Podcast. I am your host, of course, Jake Hughes, alongside the old man debuting a brand new setup. How the hell are you doing today, old man?
I am amazing. Why do you talk like that?
Because you're old. You're old, and I don't know if you moved away from your microphone. I didn't know if you had to get the power.
Oh,
to
I don't
move
know if
close.
you froze or I froze.
I still see you, and I'm still moving on my screen, and I seem to have lost the old man. I'm going to keep going on as if I am still live on the show. We'll find out exactly what's happened. But it appears the old man has crashed out. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning into the show. We're going to be doing a condensed show here. I can turn him off for now because he seems to have been broken. But we're doing an intermission show, second intermission between Canada and Sweden. Canada has a 3-1 lead. Goals from Mark Stone, Nathan McKinnon, and Brad Marchand. I was really hoping we'd get the old man here, so I'm just going to rag the puck a little bit. Thank you so much for everyone tuning in. It appears the old man's having some connection issues. He's going to get in as soon as we can. But yeah, this game is going quite well for Team Canada. It was really interesting to see at the very beginning of the game. I'm just going to give my thoughts while the old man is looking to reconnect. Coming into the game, it was, I think, a big thing for fans. I didn't know how the players were going to be taking it. And right from probably the first 10, 15 seconds, you could tell that the players were taking it serious, that the fans were quite into it, especially in Montreal with all the fanfare. Welcome back, old man.
I don't know what happened there, but
you
lost
lost connection, but you're back. You scared me. I thought I was the one that was frozen at first.
That's what I thought too.
That turns out it was you. I was just saying, it was really nice to see that the players are taking this serious and it's not just an all-star level type game.
Oh yeah, no.
There was I was seeing a lot of concern, and that the fans were building this to be big, and then that the players wouldn't take it as serious.
Yes. No, I think it's right from the get-go, as my mama used to say. It's been high intensity. Let's face it, we haven't seen this kind of competition since 2016.
And
at
2016
this level.
And 100%. It's just 2016 I always found very awkward because of the weird teams. You had Team Europe and Team North America, so anyone under 23 played on those. So yeah, we had Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby in the tournament, but they weren't playing on the same team.
True.
Right? Absolutely insanity on that first goal from McKinnon and Crosby and McDavid.
I've watched hockey, as you know, all my life. I grew up watching hockey as a little child. I don't think I've seen a prettier passing play. Between his legs, blind pass in front there by Crosby. Just insane. And
to do it if this was their regular teams, if this was the Pittsburgh Penguins and this was the Penguins team, and you're playing game 60 and you pull this off, cool, that's great, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But it's These are guys who have really never played together competitively.
Well, have they ever played together? Like we say, never played together. Have they ever?
They've practiced. They do. I know, like McKinnon and Crosby skate in the off season together.
Yeah, but they've never been in a high pressure game together.
No,
right?
No, exactly. So, and to have like what I think 2 days of practice throughout this to be able to do that 40 odd seconds into the game.
The toucan came off the couch. He was so excited. The toucan came off the couch and let out a little squeal.
56 seconds into the game, just to be clear.
Acknowledge the toucan. He's our mascot. Stop ignoring the toucan. He gets his feeling hurt.
I'm glad. I want to hurt his feeling as much as possible.
You're not nice.
What are your thoughts on the game so far?
It's been surprisingly fun to watch. And I caught the last bit of you were talking about there, how you were like, you weren't sure how this was going to be. Are they going to take it serious? Surprisingly, like the first period we dominated. It was like men against boys there for most of the first period. Second period, you can see someone threw a garbage can in the Swedish dressing room and probably kicked it. And they came out hitting, and they came out actually shooting the puck. So I think the third period here is going to be amazing.
Yeah. 15 minutes and 15 seconds. That's how long it took Sweden to get their first shot on net.
Yeah.
In the game. Like, it's not like it was like, oh, we started the second period and there was that big gap. That's a brutal stretch where Canada just kind of dominated.
Exactly.
And something that I don't think we've seen this that much from Canada proper, whether it's World Juniors, World Championships, in the last, I can't even remember how long, is it feels like these guys were just told, go run and gun, go play hockey. You guys are the best scorers in the league, in the world. Go play hockey.
When
no defensive system.
When they lined up for that first power play and you saw that lineup, you just kind of shook your head and went, this should be illegal. Like, this is too good. This should be illegal. You've got 5 of the best hockey players in the world on one line.
Yeah.
And that's not just being Canadian, and that's not just boosting.
Literally, if you had your top 15 players and those 5 were excluded, people would be asking questions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like,
just insane. It was so much fun to watch. And, I wasn't super excited about this series coming into it. Of course, I'm going to watch because that's what we do. If I didn't watch, I wouldn't be able to talk about it. But it wasn't like the World Juniors where we do literally a countdown to it.
Yeah.
This one, it snuck up on me, and I think I might get excited when it's time for Team Canada versus the USA on Saturday.
Well, that game just has so much other implications really right now in the world, and we're not going to get into that. We're not going to talk about it until it has an impact on the sport. But
it kind of has, with all the booing at the arenas. And
did you hear? I know me and you were texting at the beginning of the game, so I know you were watching right from the beginning. Did you hear the Habs arena announcer saying, because this is a international game, we are asking all the fans to respect the opposing teams, the both teams' national anthems?
Yes. Can you imagine?
That wouldn't have been said a month ago.
No. And they're not going to boo the Swedish national anthem.
No. They booed William Nylander, but that's only because they're in Montreal.
They're in Montreal.
He's a Swede, and he plays for Toronto.
And can you imagine the game on Saturday is in Montreal?
Yep. It's going to be raucous. It's going to be crazy.
It's just good. Then we have to go to Boston to play the gold medal if we make it that far.
Yeah. Have you seen the schedule for this game? This series? It's so I figured, okay, everyone would play three games.
Well, that's what we do
through your round robin, right?
Yeah.
And then you play your semifinal.
Yeah, no.
No semifinal. Okay, cool. So fourth and third will play for third place, right?
No.
It's
you play your 3 games and the top teams play for the cup.
Which is I don't hate it. I was talking about this on the ride home with one of my friends, and
you have friends?
I know it's shocking. But
Burke is, by the way, Burke, I feel him. He's listening and he says bullshit.
But we were talking and he said, could you imagine if they said, oh, we're playing a full tournament with only 4 teams and there's going to be a double knockout style tournament? It's like, it's not really that interesting. No. And other than Finland, who plays for third place?
Right.
I heard it today on Canucks Talk. Finland has like the most healthy obsession or the most healthy view of third place in all of the hockey nations, because they'll win third constantly and they're happy about it. They get a medal and they're excited. Every other funny. Like Russia, when they were allowed in the sports, Sweden, Canada, US, it's like, yeah, whatever, who cares?
Earth or nothing.
Speaking of Russia.
Now, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Did you hear Bettenen's announcement today?
That's where I was just going with that. Speaking of Russia, they have announced 2028, the World Cup of Hockey will be back.
Now, will Russia be allowed in that?
They're monitoring things and will give us updates. As it's not a double IHF run thing, they're going to consult with the double IHF. I read this before coming on today. They're going to consult with the double IHF and feel out how things are going. But it is expected to be an 8-team tournament.
Yeah. In February still?
I don't know if they said when.
I don't think they said the date, but they did say it would run 2028, then 2030, 2032.
No.
So it's
not 2030. So it's 2032.
World Cup, then Olympics 2 years later, then World Cup 2 years later.
They have part of this announcement that I think is buried under everything is the NHL and the NHLPA have already agreed that this time next year, for the Olympics, we will get best on best hockey.
How cool is that?
Not just that, but in 5 years, in the French Alps, we will get best on best hockey in the Olympics.
Yes. About time. Like, grow up.
I have started a new job. I'm not able to be on my phone nearly as much as I was at my other jobs.
I know. I text you and you don't reply, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, we'll talk about that, but I literally can't have my phone when I'm on shift now.
Oh, by the way, I forgot. Everybody, it's time to wish Jake a happy birthday.
No,
yesterday,
it's not. That was yesterday.
Yesterday, Jake turned into an old man.
I was already there.
32 years old. Happy birthday, buddy. I meant to come on and I was frazzled because my computer was acting up, but I meant to come on and actually sing happy birthday to you.
Well, I'm glad you didn't, because no one wants to hear you sing.
Everybody wants to hear the old man sing.
No. Okay. If anyone in the comments who has ever heard the old man sing before, first off, how drunk was he? Secondly, do you ever want to hear it again? But yes, with the new job, I'm not able to be on my phone. So I open up my phone after work here and I look at my phone and it says World Cup announcement for hockey. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And it's like the first line is like, will be part of the calendar that includes the Four Nations face-off, the 2026 Milano Cortina Olympics, and the 2030 French Alps Olympics. I'm like, that's what you lead with.
Thank you.
You push an alert. The NHL and NHLPA have agreed to return to the Olympics.
It's big.
And the World Cup is back.
Yes.
Trent
says he wants to hear me sing.
No, I believe we're going to bring that up on screen just so everyone
sing.
He says, hell no.
Trent,
I know for
as good
a fact.
as you dance.
which we all know is terrible. Something non-Canada related, but Canucks related and Four Nations related. Quinn Hughes is not playing in the tournament. Was announced a couple days ago that he's not playing.
I think it's the best thing for him as a hockey player. Take this 2 weeks, get healthy, and get ready for that stretch drive.
And according to Rick Dollywall and his contacts with the agents, not an easy decision for Quinn Hughes, and I wouldn't expect it to be. But again, he looked at it and said, for the thought of making a run down the stretch and into the playoffs, I need to be 100%.
Exactly. And I mean, if he's Canadian, I'd probably have a different view. But as a true Canuck fan, and the fact that he's American, I was going to say it's another word. I'm glad he's sitting out.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, I don't want him facing us, Team Canada.
No, he's the best defenseman in the world.
Stop reading the comments.
Best defenseman in the world, and he's unfortunately unable to play.
Yeah,
but hopefully he's able to play in the Olympics in February 2020.
Well, let's hope he can play when the Canucks season restarts.
And speaking of the Canucks, without Quinn Hughes,
what a run!
Since the JT Miller trade, we have gone 3-1-1.
Woo-wee.
Look, I'm not saying that's a coincidence. It's just, we haven't won 3 games in a row in quite a long time.
Well, can we talk about what was posted out on Twitter?
No.
Okay.
No, that is unconfirmed.
Actually,
rumors.
It's been more confirmed than unconfirmed.
It has not been officially confirmed by multiple sources. It all leads back to one source.
It's been confirmed more than it's been unconfirmed. How's that? Anyway, the boss doesn't want to talk about it, so we won't talk about the fact.
Well, we can talk about
JT Miller is a piece of poop.
Not talking about JT Miller, talking about the Canucks. The win against the Maple Leafs was absolutely fantastic.
Oh,
a great way to leave before the break, and hopefully, with all the reports that PD playing for Sweden as the puck just dropped in the third period, PD's very loose. He's having fun and playing great hockey with his Swedish teammates. Hopefully that can kind of regenerate him, kind of refocus him, refuel him.
Yes.
Hopefully they play more than just 3 games, because that means we're not playing the States in the final. But Canada, as this tournament opened, is co-favorite to win the tournament alongside the United States.
I mean, obviously, it's always going to be U.S. and Canada when Russia's not there.
Sweden's been has a lot of really good players, though.
They do. There's no doubt about it. But they're still not a Canada or U.S. caliber talent yet.
Yeah.
So sorry, I lost my complete train of thought when you sent me off of my JT Miller rant.
No, you're good.
Okay. I won't rant anymore. Fine.
You're good.
Can we go watch the game?
We can go watch the game. We're not going to keep you guys here any longer. A nice abbreviated show, as there's a Parayko shot that gets narrowly saved. You gotta swing by from the faux mascot for the toucan. We will see you guys here next week for a full show, full breakdown of everything that's happening.
With a special guest.
With the Four Nations Cup. Our special guest, the other half of the guest we had last week on the Sakaris and Price show, will be Blake Price, joining the Hughes Sports podcast for the very first time. We'll talk everything that is Canucks related, everything Four Nations Cup or Four Nations Face-Off related. I keep calling it Four Nations Cup. It's Four Nations Face-Off.
I keep calling it Four Nations Cup as well.
Yeah, it's a Four Nation Face-Off. But until next week, have yourselves a wonderful time. Go Canada, go. Mwah. Peace.